Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Marina Oster, Stanford scientist and life coach, and I'm on a mission to empower you to create your very own reality. So today we'll talk about how to stop procrastinating and how to stop overthinking things before we act coming up. So let's ask ourselves, what really lies at the core of procrastinating, right? What lies at the core of just thinking, oh, I could do it this way, or maybe I should do it this way, or maybe they would think I should do it another way. And so it's this endless cycle of thoughts that are holding us back, right? And same with procrastinating. Often we'll just find things to do instead of the thing that we need to do and that we want to do that is good for us, that we can, once we do it, we can reach a whole new level, we can move on, we can go and enjoy ourselves, right? And so instead, we're in this habit pattern where we just take on all of the reasons why things could be made better and that what we want to put out there isn't good enough yet. Or we find ways where we think, oh gosh, well, let me find this other thing to do before I do that, right? And so what lies at the core of this sort of mentality that we throw at ourselves over and over again, and that just wastes so much time, right? So much of our life, where we could be moving on already or reaching the next level. And so what lies at the core of that? Two things, and two things only, lie at the core of all of that type of behavior. Number one, perfectionism. Perfectionism is why we overthink. And we're trying to get it just perfect enough here, perfect enough there. Oh, well, tomorrow I'll have more thoughts on how to do it. Tomorrow I'll, get more information, or, in a week it'll be clearer, right? Sound familiar? And so perfectionism is a trap, right? It's a trap because perfectionism doesn't exist. Perfectionism is a mental process that holds us back from our own greatness, right? So perfectionism and greatness, the limitation and the holding back and the fear of our greatness and our brilliance is why we employ those types of habit patterns. We're actually, most of us, not afraid to fail, believe it or not. What we're most afraid of is becoming as big and as fully empowered and fully realized as we are meant to be. That is what scares us. And so we hide behind perfectionism. We hide behind overthinking and holding off and holding back, right? Because what it's doing is it's serving as a crutch to us. It's an excuse. It's an excuse to stay small. It's an excuse to stay where we are, because where we are may not be necessarily comfortable, but it's what we know, right? Where we are is what's familiar. And so most of us would prefer to stay with what's familiar than to achieve and to grow into what is pulling at us, right? What is calling us forth, what we know if we just do, we'll reach the next level. And so I challenge you to do this. Whatever the situation or the goal or the product that you're trying to deliver that you're kind of just doing circles around, whatever that happens to be in this day, in your life, I challenge you to zoom out, okay? Zoom out and get a bird's eye view. Ride the escalator of life, look up, look down, and see yourself, right? So if your whole life were to arc and be at the end, right? If we were at the end of our life, what would we say? Would we feel like we're making the right decision, or that we made the right decision those years ago, where we held back, where we stayed small, where we didn't act, where we said, no, I've got another excuse, I'll try it tomorrow, or it's just not good enough, right? When everything falls away and we can look back on our life, when there is no ego, when opinions are irrelevant, right? It's just us and what we've done in this life, that we followed our own self, right? We followed our own internal desire, our pull, or to progress forward. And would we really at that stage say, yes, it was good of me to hold back. It was good of me to play it safe, right? We wouldn't say that, because the whole purpose of our life and to live the arc of our life is to fully become who we're meant to be, right? It's to fully act, to evolve, to grow, to receive wisdom, but then to finally act on it, right? Perfectionism doesn't exist. And so use that as a reason to act, is that at the end of your life, you will regret not acting now, because the action might be small or it might be large, but nonetheless, it moves you forward and it offers you new opportunities, right? And it moves you one step closer to the next level or achieving your full potential. So with that in mind, I challenge you to punch perfectionism in the face and say, enough of living in here, right? It's time to act. It's time to do. So decide here, right now, that there is nothing more important than that you just do it. Just do it. There's nothing more important than honoring that feeling like you know that it's time to move on, to break through, to just do it and then realize a much more fuller version of yourself. Promise yourself that there is nothing more important than that you act, because this is you listening, right, to your intuition, to your internal guidance system, that internal GPS that is pulling you, urging you, yes, let's do it. Because the longer, let's face it, right, the longer you resist acting, the longer you stay in the reasons why you should hold back, the more stronger, right, and the more powerful that energy, because first you start stagnating, right? You reach a certain level and you know what you need to do next, but you start running the circles around, right? Bringing the excuses. And so that energy starts to stagnate and it starts to build up. And it's like a dam, right? The pressure just increases and you can feel it. We try to run away from it, but you can feel the pressure build to do what inside of you know you should, right? And so that is your inner voice asking you to honor yourself. That is what's going on. And so just jump in, close your eyes and jump. Perfectionism doesn't exist. Just do it. Open the floodgates. Let it flow and reach a new level in even a small thing that seems to you, but you'll be able to move on. And what you'll feel immediately is the energy that you were holding back, that was gaining momentum and it was feeling impossible pretty much. It starts to rush out and it starts to propel you like a rocket to the next level of yourself. It starts to move with you because it's been waiting. It's been accumulating and sitting there and growing. And so now it's pushed through and you open that dam. And so now it can serve you. It can propel you towards opportunities. It can allow you self-reflection and growth and all of the new opportunities that come with just being courageous in that moment and saying, I'm shutting this off. I'm just doing. Just do it and take massive action. That's where the magic is. It's so much harder to hold back and sit in that really uncomfortable space of finding excuses and doing the little things to keep yourself back, isn't it? So allow yourself to feel energized, not paralyzed. Give yourself that gift. And remember, when you jump, the universe will build a bridge under your feet. This is a hero's journey. And remember that you are the hero, and this is your journey.